A single gas discovery just put the Philippines on the front line of a major power struggle, and warships are already moving. Deep beneath the waters of the Indo-Pacific, something unexpected has been found, and it's already changing the game above the surface. What began as a low-key announcement about a new natural gas discovery has quickly turned into a much bigger story. This is about energy, power, and who gets to call the shots in Southeast Asia. At the center of it all is Malampaya East 1, an undersea gas field just east of the Philippines' most important energy site. You can't see it on the surface, but its impact is already very real. Military movements are shifting, diplomatic signals are getting louder, and regional tensions are quietly rising. For the Philippines, this discovery couldn't come at a more critical time. For decades, the original Malampaya gas field has been the backbone of the country's energy supply. Since the early 2000s, it's powered major plants on Luzon, delivered electricity to millions of homes, and kept key industries running. But there's a problem. That field is aging, and production has been falling fast. As output declined, the Philippines was forced to import more fuel, driving up costs and increasing reliance on foreign suppliers. That's expensive, risky, and politically sensitive. Then came January 2026. Officials announced that drilling at Malampaya East 1 had struck natural gas, and not just traces of it. The find was large enough to be called significant. Suddenly, what looked like an energy problem had a possible lifeline. And that single discovery may end up reshaping far more than the Philippines' power grid. Early test results were promising. Gas was flowing at levels strong enough to be commercially viable. That immediately raised hopes that the Philippines could extend, maybe even expand, its domestic gas supply. Energy analysts were quick to back that up. Some estimated the new field could power hundreds of thousands of homes and help stabilize electricity prices. Even more important, the discovery hinted at something bigger. The Malampaya Basin might still hold more untapped resources. That opens the door to years of future exploration. But there's a catch. Malampaya East 1 sits inside the Philippines' exclusive economic zone under international law. At the same time, it lies within the broader South China Sea, one of the most disputed maritime regions in the world. Overlapping claims, historical arguments, and unresolved tensions have fueled friction here for decades. So almost overnight, this stopped being just an energy project. It became a strategic asset. Within weeks of the announcement, the Philippine Navy and Coast Guard stepped up their presence around the Malampaya area. Patrol ships appeared more often. Surveillance flights increased. Monitoring systems were adjusted to keep near constant watch over surrounding waters. Officials in Manila called the moves defensive and preventive. One senior military spokesperson put it bluntly. Malampaya is not just an installation. It's a lifeline for our energy security. Protecting it means protecting the country's economy and future. That mindset marks a major shift. Offshore platforms, pipelines, and future drilling sites are no longer seen as just commercial projects. They're now treated as critical national infrastructure, on the same level as ports, airfields, and communications hubs. Energy security and national security, once handled separately, are now merging into one. And the Philippines isn't acting alone. Across the South China Sea, naval activity has been steadily increasing. Warships from multiple countries move through key sea lanes every day. Joint exercises are more frequent. Surveillance aircraft regularly patrol busy airspace. One of the most visible forces in the region is the U.S. Navy. American carrier groups, destroyers, and support ships continue operating throughout the area. Officially, these missions are described as routine deployments and freedom of navigation operations, meant to show that international waters remain open to all. But analysts say there's another message here: deterrence. By maintaining a constant presence, the United States signals that it's closely watching developments around disputed zones and high-value economic areas. The fact that U.S. forces operate near places like Malampaya is widely seen as reassurance for partners like the Philippines. Philippine military leaders have openly acknowledged the impact. Joint patrols, shared exercises, and combined surveillance have expanded Manila's reach and awareness. For a country with limited naval resources, these partnerships add real strategic depth. And that brings us to the political consequences of this shift, which may matter just as much as the gas itself. Under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the Philippines has begun to reset how it deals with the outside world. Manila still does business with many partners, but when it comes to security, the focus has shifted. Defense ties with the United States and other like-minded countries have been strengthened. Cooperation agreements have expanded. More Philippine bases are now accessible to allied forces. Joint military training has grown larger and more advanced. From Manila's point of view, this isn't about picking a fight. It's about insurance. The goal is simple: make sure the Philippines isn't standing alone when its interests are at stake. And that's exactly where Malampaya East 1 comes in. The reinforced patrols around the site fit neatly into this strategy. By visibly protecting the area, the Philippines is signaling that it intends to fully exercise its rights within its exclusive economic zone. At the same time, the broader presence of allied forces in the region adds weight to that message. But this shift also raises concerns. Philippine officials and Western governments alike worry that energy projects like Malampaya East 1 could turn into pressure points in a much larger strategic rivalry. Legal experts point out a familiar pattern. When valuable resources are discovered in sensitive or disputed waters, tensions tend to rise, not fall. Claims harden, patrols increase, surveillance expands, diplomatic language sharpens. Malampaya East 1 appears to be following that script. Still, from a technical standpoint, the discovery is only the beginning. Before any gas reaches consumers, more appraisal wells must confirm how large the reservoir really is. Engineers need to decide how the gas can be safely and efficiently extracted. New infrastructure, undersea pipelines, processing facilities, and possibly additional platforms must be designed, approved, and built. That process takes time. Industry experts warn against expecting quick results. Even under ideal conditions, commercial production won't start overnight. Offshore projects are often slowed by financing hurdles, permitting delays and technical challenges. But here's the key point. Even without a single molecule of gas flowing yet, the impact is already being felt. For policymakers in Manila, Malampaya East 1 strengthens the case for long-term investment in domestic energy. It gives new momentum to deeper exploration in Philippine waters and offers a potential shield against volatile global energy markets. For everyday Filipinos, the hope is straightforward. More domestic gas could mean more stable electricity prices. For industry, reliable energy could fuel manufacturing growth and attract foreign investment. And for the military, Malampaya East 1 becomes something else entirely. A high-value asset that demands constant protection. Public reaction inside the Philippines reflects all of these expectations at once, and that reaction is shaping what comes next. Inside the Philippines, reactions to the discovery have been mixed, but intense. Business groups see Malampaya East 1 as a win for energy security. Economists point to its potential to cut fuel imports and reduce costs. Policymakers highlight how it could support long-term development goals, but not everyone is celebrating. Environmental groups and civil society organizations are urging caution. They stress that natural gas, while cleaner than coal, is still a fossil fuel. They're calling for parallel investments in renewable energy and stronger protections for marine ecosystems. That debate isn't unique to the Philippines. It reflects a global dilemma: how to balance energy demand, economic growth, and climate commitments. Natural gas is often labeled a transition fuel, cleaner than oil or coal, but far from carbon-free. For countries like the Philippines, which face both development pressure and climate vulnerability, the trade-offs are especially hard. And Malampaya East 1 sits right at the center of those competing priorities. Strategically, the discovery is also reshaping how others view the Philippines. A country that can meet more of its own energy needs is less exposed to global shocks. It gains more diplomatic flexibility. It also becomes a more attractive destination for investment and technology partnerships. But there's another side to that coin. A country that controls valuable offshore resources also becomes more important in regional calculations. Defense planners across Southeast Asia are watching closely. Some see parallels with their own offshore energy projects. Others are studying how Manila combines legal claims, patrol operations, and alliance management. The United States continues to frame its role around supporting allies and upholding international law. American officials say they take no position on sovereignty disputes, but insist those disputes must be resolved peacefully and according to international rules. In practice, that stance means a steady naval presence and regular engagement with partner militaries. U.S. warships remain a visible force across the South China Sea, including near key energy routes. China, meanwhile, is expanding its maritime footprint. Its Coast Guard has grown rapidly in recent years, its Navy operates farther from home, and its maritime militia remains active around disputed features. The result is a crowded, intense operating environment where encounters at sea are likely to continue. So far, patrols around Malampaya East 1 haven't been reported to involve direct confrontations. But analysts warn that whenever multiple armed vessels operate close to one another, the risk of miscalculation is always there. And in a region where energy, security, and sovereignty collide, even a small mistake could have outsized consequences.